Mike King says.
All I do is no, what.
But that's what we do here. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to On the Mic with Mike, the premier business radio program. I'm your host, Mike King. I appreciate you being with me. We're coming to you from the Mike King Biz studio. This is part of the Mike King Biz Radio Network, ESPN Richmond 106.1, International Business Growth Radio, Saturdays 10 a.m. in the East, CW Richmond every Wednesday and Friday, 5 a.m. I talk to the best and the brightest. Hey, I'm on, people see me on LinkedIn a lot. I'm there. There are people who are excellent at LinkedIn as well as self-promotion. I got the one and only Judi Fox. Welcome to the program, ma'am.
Excited to be here.
All righty, really quickly, this is a business show, so tell folks who you are and what you do.
I am Judi Fox. It's Judifox, and I call myself a LinkedIn business accelerator.
You are that. All right, so let's talk about the accessories there. What is that?
First of all, that's my last name, Fox.
There you go.
So it makes sense to really lean into that branding that goes into business and how you become memorable. So when you think of, hey, there's 3 stages of business. That's how I break up my thinking. It's easier. And the number 3 is easy. So the first stage is awareness. People have to know you exist.
That's true.
And being memorable when they meet you, when they know you exist, that's the first stage.
There's a person on there who's memorable. My man, Will Melton. Will Melton knows everybody. He is a memorable character.
Love it.
Yes. So Will Melton, Richmond Waters out there doing some really big things. He is part of Exponent 21, him and his missus, Courtney. So we'll shout out to those guys. Alrighty, so being memorable is something. So people never bought from somebody they never heard of. That's a fact.
Yes.
You have to know who somebody is. Alrighty, so you are known as being an expert on LinkedIn. Now, you just told me something today. You had some exciting news.
Ooh.
Okay, here we go. Wait 1 second.
Ooh, do you have
man?
You got to play sound effects?
Yes, I do, but there's my sound effects machine right there.
Oh, is it too far?
Yes, it is. So on the mic with Mike, Judi Fox is
we
here.
can do this.
Yes, alrighty. So, ma'am, what is your exciting news?
That I received a top voice on LinkedIn in social media and sales. That is a recognition, a banner, a button that they give you now that they are rolling out, and it is really, really cool.
Explain to the listeners why the power of LinkedIn. I mean, I tell people, but I'm not an expert at it. Explain to people really why LinkedIn is so important.
Well, I'll just start from the fact that it is the #1 place on social media that you really are who you are. Your experience is right there. Your recommendations are right there. It is a landing page that is built to bring you business.
And
period.
The quality of people on LinkedIn is different than the other platforms. Yes. I don't get as much of can we negotiate price, and you don't get that. As you say, people are who you think they are. They are there explaining who they are, telling the world, and people use LinkedIn for a number of different reasons. So besides LinkedIn, is that your actual business?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. So what I mean is I love working with clients to get them more business. Most of the time we do that on LinkedIn. I have taken that same concept and applied it to Instagram, applied it to Twitter, applied it to YouTube, applied it to Pinterest. Like, I love social media in general, but definitely use LinkedIn.
When did you know the social media thing would work for you? That you're on social media, it's a cool thing, it's pretty good, it's fun, it's all those things. When did it become a point where, hey, this is a business model right here that I could use?
I'm actually going to go all the way back to around 2012.
Okay.
Because I wrote a blog post, and back then I was running my own environmental consulting business. So I'm not talking about building a LinkedIn business on LinkedIn. I'm talking about building an environmental consulting engineering business on LinkedIn.
You're an engineer by training.
Yep.
Okay. How do you go from doing that. Engineers think a certain way. You know,
Mhm.
I have a number of friends who are that way, and they joke, and I'm telling they're, you know, I have my when I get my friends who are engineers, I could tell them I have to be buttoned up. Wait a second. So Will Melton says, what's a good number of posts per day to get maximum visibility on LinkedIn?
Max one.
Really?
One, I mean it. One every 24 to 48 hours max.
Ma'am?
And I'll
What?
explain why.
Okay, yes, please, because I'm hurting right now.
I know.
You
You
just
do
ripped-
a lot more than
You
one.
just
which
ripped
is-
my heart out and stomped it on the ground.
Okay.
Yes.
Here's why. For your personal profile, as a leader, as an expert, as somebody who is busy making moves, doing business,
I haven't had time to do 18.
you should not have time to be posting that much. So, and the other reason why, there's a second reason, it cuts off your visibility every single time you post. LinkedIn does not want spam on that platform. So people who consistently post every 3 or 4 hours, LinkedIn cannot give that in the news feed to every single person following you, or else that would be their entire news feed would be Mike King, which you would love.
Clearly, Will Melton, we are doing it wrong because he says,
So here's what I'll
Okay, here's-
explain.
okay.
I will give you a space that you can post every hour on the hour on LinkedIn.
oh, really?
Do it on your company page. Your company page should be your hot followers that do want you in their news and want you all over their news feed. And then of those posts, pick the best content to put on your personal
Okay,
profile.
ma'am. On the mic, Judi Fox is here. Fox rocks. And we are, yes. Yes, struggling with this right here.
That's okay.
So what you're saying is on the mic with Mike should have a LinkedIn page,
yes.
and Mike King should have my page.
Yes.
Two separate.
Yes. I have two separate.
Okay.
So when I speak at conferences and I speak at events, like right now, I'm speaking, obviously, and I can share this post. I can share a 30 posts over to my company page. I just spoke at Social Media Marketing World. I am now still sharing content that was created from that event, and I can just click share and repost over to my company page. But my personal profile, I sometimes will only post once a week, because it is my personal thoughts and opinions. And I want people to feel that that is me. That is not an admin running it. It's not an external team. And the authenticity of that is just really powerful. My last post has over 700 comments. And if that's what the strategy, if you want more likes and comments and more visibility on each individual post, every post I make on my personal profile is anywhere from 40,000 views to 50 to 60,000, and I'm maybe once a week. And I just got a client 1 million views on LinkedIn with only one post a week.
Okay, ma'am.
One post a week.
So Mike King Biz, I am too busy to be posting all the time.
On your personal.
Yes, that's right. I'm too busy. I'm Mike King Biz. Right, but now on the mic with Mike.
Yes, that's
all
where
of
the
these
business
great
is
interviews that are happening should be there.
Yeah.
And I could post till
you can post every minute on there. I don't care. Keep going. Post your lives, post everything.
See, ladies and gentlemen, that is the reason why you have your own radio show, because I get the best. So when she's in here, this is what we hear. You know, she walks in.
The champ is here. The champ is here.
So
I love that.
Judi Fox is here dropping nuggets on that one right there is something, because people say to me, Mike King, you're everywhere.
Mm-hmm. You can still be
Beyonce
everywhere.
doesn't show up everywhere.
No, Taylor Swift
Does
doesn't.
not show up everywhere.
No.
When they show up,
You listen.
okay, I've learned. Okay.
But imagine, okay, look, just break down Taylor Swift.
Yes.
Because she's hot right now. She's
Yeah.
literally running her concert, her Eras tour, and I have tickets. Yes, I do. I'm so excited.
You're a Swiftie.
Yes, I am a
Okay.
Swiftie. I'm
Well,
going
again-
to the Tampa, Florida show. So
Okay,
excited.
see, that's my audience.
But when
she's
I think
able to
about
go.
her brand and I think about Taylor Swift, the reason we flock to every post that she makes is because she's not constantly making them, which makes us think that that's her. We think that is really from her heart, from her mind, from her voice. And that's not her team running her account, but she has Taylor Nation. Taylor Nation can post all the time. They can post because we assume that's Taylor's team making that content, and we will still soak that up, but we treat both of those pages differently.
When did you know you had something there with doing social media?
Probably when my first couple posts that I've ever done go viral. Not just people all the time will say you need to make relatable personal content to get noticed. I disagree. You can make really powerful, knowledgeable content if you think, I want to create a resource that is accessible and is understandable. And I mean, I went into the world of Freedom of Information Act because
that's an engineer.
Exactly.
That's an engineer.
But
doing something like that.
The reason why I knew this would work for business in 2012, I created a blog post that was all about the top places, and I made a map of the US where you could get Freedom of Information Act for water quality, for air pollution in your neighborhoods. And I made a map that had never existed. I could not find what I wanted to create and what I wished was in the world. And I had heard that quote that says, go out and make the things you wish you could see in the world. And so I did. I made a map. I made a very visual representation of the US saying, here's where you can easily get FOIA requests for your local community. And here's the websites. And so I listed every single state and the hyperlink right there. And that blog post and that website drove over 100,000 views. And it was so niche that I then realized I have no problem getting business from this point forward for any of my work. I had so many people come to that. I have consulting firms that would reach out to me saying, we had never been able to find that coalesced in one place. And you created that.
You knew you had something because you created it.
Yes, I knew I needed that resource.
And other people needed it as well.
Yep.
And there'd be a market for that.
Yes. And how you set yourself up mentally when you become the source, people assume you have the source of all the knowledge. I mean, my ability to get hired after that was a no-brainer for any consulting firm I networked with.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, Judi Fox is here dropping some nuggets right there. I always tell people, create your lane and then you don't have to worry.
Yeah.
You totally created your lane.
Mm-hmm. And now I work with other people to create their lanes. So that's how the transition happened.
And you went from something, a lot of people think that they got to start in social media and I'm going to blow up here. You go from engineering to make that work to social media and still putting engineering principles to it.
Yes.
It's not gobbledygook what you're doing. And you say social media it's not magic.
It has a formula, just like chemical engineering has a formula. I know that sounds really funny to say, I see molecules, I see formulas, I see networks. I see networks as if they are chemical molecules, because that's how my brain works.
Okay. So not only are you big in the social media world, you're also podcasting.
Yes.
You're a queen of podcasting. Explain to listeners what a podcast looks like that's successful. And how did you start yours?
I'm gonna again dial it back to what I was doing as a child. I literally would create podcasts at home as a child on that device that you had to like press record and play at the same time to be able to record in the cassette tapes. I pretended that I was on a radio DJ and that I was running my own radio station when I was 10 years old. Did that ever see the light of day? No. But I will tell you, if that is in your DNA and you are meant to do that, just keep going. So how did I start mine? I started being a guest on other people's podcasts. I started going on shows like this.
Okay.
And how did I get my very first one? I went back to my roots. And I actually recorded my first one pretending to be 4 different personalities.
Oh, really?
Yes, I created my first show with not being asked to be a guest on a show, but I created my own show.
All right, so ladies and gentlemen, in honor of Judi Fox, this is what we have here on the Mic with Mike. This is one person.
With Mike.
Is that you?
No,
On
very nice.
Mike. He's like a guru. No, he's a businessman with a great radio
love
show.
that.
And he supports the nonprofit. And
So you became creative to
Mhm.
create a market for yourself, and next thing you're on podcasts.
Yeah, when we can see that you can be a guest. Now, you don't have to do it like me. You can be a guest on one show, one podcast, but lean into amplifying that message.
And what does that do for you then? So all of a sudden you're on podcasts and you're popular.
Yes, you can see how they're doing it. You can watch how they promote the episodes. You can watch how they put out and what they